Good afternoon, good day, good people. Michelle Dawes-Bird here, host of Real Chicks Rock Presents Real Discussions. You caught me right in
the midst.
Yeah, some blue room, green room shenanigans, because we were talking. I love this person that's here with me today, and I'm so glad that she's here. We'll give a little background on what happened 2 years ago and all that good stuff. But today it is, for those that are not paying attention to the calendar, and maybe my wardrobe is misleading, because it's very beautiful here in Atlanta. It's going to be like 80-something degrees, so I'm giving you a little shoulder today. My jacket is not far away, but it is October 1st.
Yes, it is.
Here in Atlanta. It's beautiful here. It's a beautiful, crisp, warm, fallish type day. I can't even describe it. It's beautiful. And I was talking to my beautiful guest here, and I said, 1 year ago today, we had celebrated Real Chicks Rock 10th anniversary. So that means this year we turned 11 years old. 11. We're getting old. My girl's getting old.
That's a age. 11 years.
My girl is getting older. Just happy and honored to be here, because we were doing things while COVID was happening and all this kind of stuff, and we are still here. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We are still trying to figure things out. Yeah. Right? I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit.
Always evolving.
Yeah, always evolving. I had a wonderful conversation with an old friend of mine about this week, and it was just really understanding what your purpose is, right? And walking in your purpose. So I want to encourage people, if you're not sure, if you're wondering, if you have doubts, stick to whatever your gut is telling you to do and walk in your purpose. That is the tidbit for today. Since I'm going to be 11
That's a good word. That's a good word.
Since I'm 11 years old this month, Real Chicks Rock. Yeah, hit the button, Joe. Hit the button. Give me a 11. We're 11 years old. So happy to be here. I want to welcome all of our new listeners. Thank you so much for leaning in and checking us out. Real Chicks Rock is all about creatively collaborating, connecting, and raising awareness regarding issues that impact women. And we do it by way of community service, mentoring, public speaking, and the arts. And we have been doing this particular platform, having this podcast, having this talk show, talking to people, talking about issues for over 7 years now. We started in April 2016.
I saw that, was looking on YouTube as far as the seasons.
You see that? You see how we've grown? I love it when guests be checking us out and see how we've evolved.
Joe's like, he's like, you know where to sit?
Yeah.
You see this before? I was like, yes, I've watched this before. I've been on it. That was from home, but I know where people sit. Sometimes.
Yeah. This is a wonderful thing. So today's topic is a warrior mama. Yes, a warrior mama. And I have Kimberly Stewart-Lucas here. Hi, beautiful one. How are you?
How are you? Just want to hold your hand, have a conversation, just have a talk.
Yes. I love this woman. You are awesome.
You are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you live and in color in person. We had a conversation 2 years ago. 2 years ago, if you don't remember, ladies and gentlemen, we were in COVID.
We were in the midst of some things.
Yeah, it was a lot of things going on. And most of my shows during that time, since we were still home, was at home. So we were doing things through Zoom or Skype or whatever we could. Then it kind of got to a point that I could come into the studio, but I was still offering my guests to do it from home. But you were just not well that day.
I was not. And, a chill came over me, because not only was I your guest, but 2 years ago was a major transition going on in our family. Not only was I sick at the time, but my husband, Lord Yada, was very ill. And during that time, I started working where I am now. And so this 2 year, what a difference 2 years can make.
Yes.
And so I'm here in this beautiful studio with you.
Yeah, you're glowing.
And I'm feeling great because September, first of all, I don't know what happened. It just like said hello and it, sat for a minute, and then I'm like, I'm out. Yeah. But it gave me what I needed to have this energy. Yeah. September's my birthday month. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's because it's a transition kind of month or because it's my birthday month, but it always gives me what I need. And it gave me what I needed. It gave me what I needed. So I'm here.
You are here.
On October.
Yeah.
First day of October.
And side note, I saw that wonderful husband of yours last week in the streets. We were riding our bikes.
That's right. Yes. The streets alive last week. Yes.
I was like, hey. He was like, hey. And we was We was riding up down P Street,
right.
and that was real fun. And by the way, and we'll plug him some more in the back end. The T-shirts that I wear, I get a lot of compliments.
Which ones do you?
I got the Afro woman.
Okay,
like
that's Urban Angel.
Yeah, I got her, and the one with the design that
the spool for the 45 record,
and it came in different colors and stuff.
Yes.
And I took that with me to Napa Valley when I went to hear Robert Glasper play for 3 days in the festival. So I was on the swing, and it said "Wine Girl." It had on the shirt, and so I got people saying, "That's a really slick shirt."
Because for those of you that remember, you would have to put the little, is it called a spindle? Inside. If you have your record player and you're playing 45s, you would have to put that as a kind of an adapter so you could play it on your record player. So that's what, I mean, of course, he applies his maze work and his Lord Yada way of design.
I love it. Thank you, Lord Yada, for making me look cute in my T-shirt game. My T-shirt game has gone up because I get the compliments on the shirt. I just wanted to plug that in because one thing that I do love and admire about you, Kimberly, and we're going to get into what this whole conversation is about, but just as you as a woman, you are a wonderful wife from what I can see. I'm on the outside looking in. I don't know what goes on in the house.
Let your Yada be the judge.
But what I can tell, wife, mother, beautiful children, loving, supporting husband. Like that's that black love that we talk about, that we aspire to have. And so I don't take it lightly to say that I have you on my cell phone. I can call you. We can talk. We're friends. And it's an encouragement to other people, right? Whether we're single or divorced or whatever, that it exists.
It exists.
And you have to work towards it.
It's work.
It's work. It's not magical fairy dust or anything like that.
Revisiting and rebuilding and renewing and rebirth.
And just checking in with one another.
Absolutely. So
as a family. So I love the whole family.
Thank you for the
I just had to put that out. And I love you, sister, too. We're going to talk about that, too. I just love that Donna Shealy. Yes, I love her. We're going to talk about it. We're going to plug and shout out people towards the end. But this month is what, Kimberly? What is this month?
October is World Menopause Awareness Month. World Menopause Awareness Month. And actually October 18th is World Menopause Awareness Day. And so for those that don't know and would like to really kind of clear up, you know, we talk about menopause. Many people have heard of that, particularly women. But menopause is actually when you have experienced not having your cycle for 12 months. And so a lot of people that say that they're in menopause really may not be in menopause yet. They will be in perimenopause, which I just became familiar with that term like 6 years ago from Lisa. Who's in the healthcare field, right? So I've always, all my life, heard about menopause. And so there are three phases. There's perimenopause, there's menopause, again, not having a cycle for 12 consecutive months, and then there's postmenopause.
I just read about period.
I myself am in perimenopause.
Is that right?
Yes, I am. That came out how it came out. I have been for several years, and I'm not ashamed to say I just turned 47. And I think probably throughout my 40s, but definitely the last couple of years, it has made more of a pronounced. Hey, Kimberly, I'm here. I got my luggage. I'm about to pull the blinds. I'm about to move in some furniture. I'm gonna play with the thermostat all day long as I see fit, whether you like it or not.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna turn the lights on and off. I'm gonna change your vision. I'm gonna change your hearing.
Oh my God.
So it's been a whirlwind, and so there's been so many things. You know, I was thinking about this earlier. A lot of the things that I do as an event planner, as a promoter, as reflect where I am in my life, right? So Warrior Mama, for those that may not know, Warrior Mama is a resource that I provide, you know, for natural and home birth, for those that are wishing to have children or having their babies at home or have them naturally. And so that came out of my experiences with my 3 children and having unassisted home births. So it's like, okay, I'm seeking to do this. I know I'm not alone, so let's provide the resources and the support.
So beautiful.
The work that I've done, Dish with the Doulas, is a web series I just shared with someone a couple of days ago. It's out there. The page, Warrior Mamas with an S. So Warrior Mama is my moniker. Mama with 2 M's like Mama Mia. People always get confused. The one without the S is my personal profiles. The one with the S, especially on Instagram, is my birth advocacy work.
Okay.
But that comes out of my experience. Again, I'm so proud of the work I've put out there, but I am no longer in the business with my husband of creating the babies.
Yeah.
And now that I have, I'm transitioning into this perimenopause life.
Yeah.
I will refer and support women that want to do that. But now here comes my mental musings, which I'm still developing because I'm developing in this new world, in this new life, right? So that's what we're talking about. Listen, my disclaimer is by no means am I a licensed medical anything.
Yeah.
These are my experiences that I'm sharing, and I know that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
So I know that my gift is to connect and to be resourceful to people. And so I continue to do that in my walk.
Let me ask a couple of questions. She took.
I'm just going. I know. We can go on tangents.
We good? No, you're good because those were my first one or two questions. She just went right in it. Typically, I send guest questions when I feel like they're going to be nervous about you. I
said, you did?
I was like, Kimberly doesn't need. No, because Kimberly doesn't need any kind of prep work. We just got to say go, and we're going to be ready to go.
Action.
Right, action. So I want to talk about the menopause.
Yes.
Have you been in that space for a long time?
For 2 years, I know for certain.
Okay.
I can mark. Actually, I would say maybe a year and a half. But I think if I look back now that I'm doing more research,
right.
I can look back on these last 7 years in my 40s, right?
Yeah.
And I can pinpoint some things. Oh, that's when I started having night sweats.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when I started having insomnia. Oh, that's when certain things started changing.
Yeah.
But really, and I'll tell you when it was. It was at Articulate.
Yes.
That was July 26th. I remember what I was wearing. I think I experienced some vertigo.
Oh,
it was very hot that day anyway. And with COVID and all that happening, when you sweat sometimes in public, I know that's like some kind of a, I don't know what you want to call it, but it was like I would get nervous to sweat because I didn't want people thinking I was sick.
Yeah.
Right?
Couldn't even cough or nothing.
Still people like you cough now, people are like,
yeah,
and I get it. I understand. It's awareness, right? Because of what we all experience. But that evening, I was sweating, just pouring. And it was hot in the space that we were in, right? I had to leave and go into the car and blast the AC. And I sat there. And it was really important because I had a couple of guests that just saw me in the car. And I think Phyllis Iller joined me.
Yeah.
And then Brother Sylvester, he joined me. And we had really powerful conversations. So that day is so important because not only was I very aware of how I was feeling, but I also advocated for myself, even though we were at this lovely event that my husband was displaying his artwork. That's why we were there. But I had to step away. I had to because it was not looking good for me inside.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on.
It was a lot going on. And I just was, my body was like, you need to walk away and sit and be still. But still be fed. Yeah. Because like I said, a couple people came to the car. We had amazing conversations. Yeah. So I would say, because of your question, because you asked me a question, I would say definitely for the last year and a half. Yeah. That I've been, I know for certain, without a doubt. But I think it's been going on for a couple of years. Yeah. For sure.
I know a couple of women, a couple of them are my friends that have gone through this, but we never knew a name. I never knew what it was called.
Thank you, Peppermint Gaddy.
Yeah,
thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Gave me the language.
Right.
Because I never heard of that term.
And
my mother, I never heard the word from her because we haven't had the conversation. Right. I don't think she knew that term.
Right. Didn't know.
But
they barely use tampons.
And listen, I consider myself to really be like in the know thing, but seriously, I had never heard of the term perimenopause.
Me neither.
And it's becoming more prevalent in conversations because it's like, I think, not to say the other generations did not, there was not certain conversations had.
That part.
And we're still not having enough, but we're having them more.
Yeah.
And so it's important for me to have these conversations with my daughters so they at least have language. They can see that their mom is experiencing things right in front of them.
Right.
But then I have to say this. I had to ask the family, like, okay, your mom's going through some things, yada there, sitting there too. Please extend a little grace to me as I'm extending it to myself. Right. Because there's some things that mood-wise, even temperature wise, I could be in the car and maybe want the AC blasted, but might want the window down too. You know, maybe it's, I don't want to share too much. We have to have separate covers because I may want part of the cover on me and the other half
you got a leg out.
Couple legs out, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, as I'm going through this journey, I know some things will look different because they're looking different to me.
Right.
Just extend me a little grace and patience.
Yes.
And I have to extend that to myself as well.
That's why it's such a beautiful family, because there's a lot of love there. But it is.
It takes practice too.
It's uncharted. It's uncharted territory. It's not like.
Absolutely.
How can I best say this? It's not even like. When you used to get a perm, I used to feel like the perm was designed so that hairstylists, and I'm not knocking them, I'm going to keep it a buck, could easily style everyone quickly with the same template and cookie cutter. Natural hair allows us to be who we want to be, however, and the same thing with our bodies. We're different.
There's not a normal to any of this.
No.
For your menstrual cycle, for perimenopause. And so you have to be mindful of that too, is that there's no cookie cutter.
No.
I'm going to experience this list of symptoms.
No.
It's nice to have a list or have maybe an idea, like, is this part of it?
Yeah.
But there's so many. And then there's some women that don't experience any of this.
Right.
Their cycle just stops.
Yeah.
And for a consecutive 12 months, and then they're done.
Yeah. That was me. I didn't have the problems. I didn't have the migraines when I had the cycle. You know, the flow was what it was. Some of it is driven by stress. So some of it is if it's a stressful thing going on in your life, it comes sooner than when it was supposed to. It may flow differently. It's a whole lot of different mechanisms that go on with us as a woman that we didn't ask for. Damn that Eve. Let me just say, that Eve, if she had messed with the snake, we might have had a different.
I am so grateful. I was talking to my coworker about this. I am so grateful for the magical, divine, life-changing beings that we are. But there is another set of experiences that comes with that you have to manage. So I am grateful to be who I am in this body. There's some things that I didn't know what I signed up for, and when I got there, you know, you just have to cross those bridges. But you know. I know.
It is.
It's a lot. It's so much. But you know what? It's not just, you talk about the stresses. It's not just a physical experience. It's cultural. It's economic. It's social. And Black women in particular, again, we're not a monolith. It's not all Black women experience the same things and live in the same environments, any of that. But according to the data, we Black women begin or go through perimenopause and have the symptoms about maybe 8.5 months before white women do.
Wow.
Due to some of the stressors that we experience.
What we do.
And the things that are triggering to us. And not even triggering, that word just gets thrown around, but the things that we take in because of the people that we love and the things that we see in our environment. We process things differently. And so perimenopause and menopause looks different for us. And so again, not cookie cutter, but there's so much that they're still learning about this as well. Right? It's not anything new, but again, now that we're having more conversations, more people are identifying it, more people are asking for the hormonal test that you can take as far as your levels. So more information's coming out as we
there's so much to unpack here. I want to say, instead of triggering, I agree we use that word a little bit more, a little bit much. Activation.
Ooh,
isn't that nice?
It activates.
There's certain things that activate inside of us that records us to respond a certain way. Because just generationally, we've been women that are multitaskers. We do a lot. We nurture. We support, we provide, we do a lot of different things. We lead. And now you're talking about things that are going on in our body that we don't even have the vocabulary to express. We can't even tell sometimes how we feel. It just takes on
I'm sitting in it.
A thing of its own, a life of its own.
And sometimes really cannot speak. Actually cannot formulate words to come out of your mouth. That's scary sometimes, especially when you're a talker. You know what I'm saying? When you can't even get the words to be able to express how you feel. It's a very frustrating place to be, you know?
I want to talk about, Kimberly, and again, you gave us a disclaimer, by no means are you a medical profession. So this is really your experiences that you're sharing with other women to help, just to raise the vibration.
Or let you know that you're not alone.
Not alone.
Maybe we have some similar things.
That's correct. But the thing is, I also think not only is it stress that's an activation, do you think that some of the foods that we eat too activate? She's smiling and laughing. For those that can't see her, she's smiling and
that's the part that I haven't really got down packed yet.
Okay.
Y'all are seeing this right now. I know he's probably smirking and laughing. But yes, you are correct. There are some things that, as far as vitamin supplements, as far as foods, as far as beverages, that can assist with those things. Don't ask me to list them. Avocados.
You don't partake in the
vitamin E and D. And I don't mean to make light of it, because it's ultimately my health and my well-being. So I don't mean to make light of not completely adopting. I'm just being transparent. I'm being transparent with y'all today. I'm being transparent with myself. And calling myself out that I definitely can do better.
Okay. Why do you think you struggle? Is it the day-to-day tasks of being a wife, mother,
it's being
going
stubborn.
To work? Okay.
I can say that too.
A little bit of that.
It's a little bit, but it's also part of it's being stubborn. And I'm examining this now again and being transparent.
Yes.
I've seen through my husband, when you can make a very intentional change to your diet, to your exercise, it will save your life.
Yes.
And I don't want to get to a point where it has to be, I'm saving my life, So it's also that thing, I think sometimes when you think it's not going to happen to me.
Right. A little bit of that. Or it's not that bad. I'm not
or it's
that
not that bad.
I'm not
and
that
so
bad.
I deal with all of that. And then when I eat a certain way or drink a certain way, it's like, oh, well, I deserve that.
Right.
Because I've worked so hard and I've gone through all this week and I deserve this. But do you?
Yeah.
So I'm working through all that right now.
It's good to have this conversation because it's not easy.
Yeah.
And so again, this is inclusion because we want people to understand that they're not alone. But the diet piece can be a game changer.
It's a bit. Listen, it can be. It can be. But it's not the only thing. No. It's also your self-talk.
Yes.
And what you're saying to yourself, who you're surrounding yourself around, your environment. That's one thing I admire about Solomon, our son, who, one of the things, and Yada does this too, is every morning I think they're very intentional with going outside and grounding. And I don't do it as much as I should, but really starting off the day that way, stretching and coming into like a place of a routine.
That's awesome.
And I have a routine, but it's more like, okay, getting the girls up, it's more bum, and I need to really carve out more of what does Kimberly need to really start her day. And there's some things I do, having personal time in front of the mirror, saying things to myself, preparing myself, listening to music. But I know I need to be more intentional as I'm entering this new phase. I'm working all that out.
Because the kids are getting older now.
They are.
When they're smaller, their needs definitely come first.
Absolutely.
But because they're beautiful citizens, they're beautiful people.
Thank you.
And you've asked them to extend you grace. So if you carve out some mommy time, some Kimberly time, I think the household will be, but it's you got to show up for you. And that's the hard part.
And that's the thing too.
That's the part.
It's like, you can't ask everybody to have grace and have, if you're not doing it for yourself, or to provide certain things and certain types of love when you're not providing it to yourself. So I'm saying all this to myself as well.
Yeah.
That I need to do better in providing that advocacy, that self-care, that rest, but also doing the things that I need to do that I know will work, because you know that certain things don't work.
Right.
So incorporate the things that do work. So.
And then
I'm a work in progress.
You are, and you're beautiful as you do it. There's other things too, Kimberly, that help with perimenopause and menopause in general. This whole wellness, holistic wellness, right? Back in the day, people had cramps, or if there was they didn't feel well, there was Tylenol or an aspirin or this and that. Now there's teas. There's some people are in hemp. There's just different things from the earth, right? From the ground to incorporate not just dietary, but just more organic vitamin C, right? Versus getting it from a farm, a store, but getting it from somebody that they trust and believe that this has more wholesome and more healing properties to help them through this phase, because we don't know how long we're going to be in this season. Yeah. That's the other thing that I want people to really understand. Yeah. That the data says one thing, but we're all individual people.
Absolutely.
And we didn't know when it was coming.
That's right.
That's the other part. You don't know when it's going to start, how long it's going to be here. Yep. I mean, I could have it in a few more years. Yeah. I started at 49.
Yeah. Yeah.
It came, said, all right, au revoir, done.
And it's really okay.
Yeah, and I haven't had cycles 49, and I'm like, yeah, and I could be sitting here doing the show and Joe stick up and be, you all right? Cause just be sweating. I be sweating doing the show.
I got my fan, paper towels.
It just comes.
All the things.
Don't know. And so I understand my kryptonite is sugar.
That's the kryptonite, I think, for everybody. I mean, sugar just,
You know, and I listen to people like, shouts out to Madam C.J. Walker, like having sugar before you go to bed, that activates things. You're sweating, you're getting hot, you're doing some kind. So I'm learning what works for me, what doesn't. But Kimberly, I'm in the same boat. I'm like, hey, I had a good time. It was a great day. I want a snack.
I deserve a snack. I deserve a treat.
Yeah, I did a treat.
A sweet treat.
And the treat consists of me doing it. That was good. And then I brush my teeth and I go to bed. Then somewhere in the middle of the night, I'm like, man, oh my God.
What was I just posted today? It's like, is it going to be a hot flash or is it going to be like, what are we going to choose? What's going to be the thing tonight? Is it going to keep me up or what, I'm going to sweat through the sheets or what? What is it going to be? Pick which one or all of it together. And I also know that it's not, so we're talking about diet, but it's more than that though. Yeah. There's some people that are vegan that may do all the teas and but will still experience these because that's what is for their code.
Yeah.
You know, and you just have to kind of walk through it. Yeah. So I know that there are places that can probably put you in a better position due to diet. But then there's some things that are just going to be what they're going to be. Yeah. And having that level of support and having, an out to be able to talk about it is what's important as well.
And we're jovial about it. We're keeping it very light, but it is a very serious conversation.
It is
for most women.
It is
because there's the emotional component about it, because they don't really know how to govern their emotions, because they don't know how to articulate how they're feeling. Why is this feeling coming? And it's just almost,
and it can shift.
Yeah.
With it, and not to, part of me is like, okay, anything can happen. Yeah. I want to be accountable for what may come out my mouth.
Right.
And how I may feel. But sometimes it feels like you don't have control. And that's the part that's scary because, I want to be mindful of my words to the people that I love, the people that I don't know, but sometimes there may be moments where it's like, okay, you're just trying to get through this moment of whatever you're feeling. Right. And you have to kind of backtrack. Okay, what did I say? And then have those conversations again, and not necessarily apologize for what there's some apologies that may be extended, but again, it's like you're just trying to get through that moment.
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting space to be in, as far as your emotions are concerned, and how you're communicating with people and how you're interacting with people and socializing. And earlier this year, I was in a isolation kind of lab. I was doing my work, and I maybe have gone to an event here and there, but I was just like, let me just stay clear. Yeah. Because I don't know what's
going to happen.
Let me just chill at home.
How I'm going to feel.
I go from the office on, I work remotely most of the time, but I can manage these places. Might not be manage all the other places. But again, you have to kind of pivot and make those changes and be flexible with it too.
Yeah.
And then again, offer yourself grace, because as a social person that does events, I tie in my productivity with worth.
Yeah.
And so I have to be I've been very mindful, especially the last few years, that the times that I'm not creating events, I'm always creating in the work that I do, but not doing my own events as far as producing certain events. And I have to be, giving myself the grace that I may not be doing it, but there's a reason for that. And again, September for me, I understood I needed some time not to do and not to be as social, and because again, I needed to kind of like harness that energy for me, and then when it's time to produce and activate, it's time. So
you can borrow that word.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You can borrow that word. Activate.
Activate.
That's the thing. It is just so, again, we are not trying to minimize what people are doing. We want people to be comfortable in having the conversations.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to go into another phase or another area that people may or may not want to talk about, but it happens. When you go through menopause, there are some physical changes that happen to your body.
Absolutely.
Right? You may have been a woman that was sexually aroused or could get in the mood very quickly, and then this menopausal thing comes
and it shifts.
And so that's another deterrent or something that can make a woman feel depressed.
Absolutely.
And feeling that they're losing their vitality as a woman. You know, and you start to feel like, oh, the end is coming to, you know, it's coming to an end, because now how I used to get down, I can't get down the same way. And how do I you know, and for those that have partners and spouses, and it's like, how do I communicate that, and how does that work? Right.
What does that look
like for us?
Exactly. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. We're talking about personal experiences.
Yes.
I have to say that is something that I have not experienced.
Okay.
It has been the switch for me.
Okay.
Where I'm having the best sex of my life.
Oh, hello.
Hey, so we're here talking about things.
She said the best.
Hey, Lord Yada.
Hey.
I'm married, I can say that.
Yeah.
But no, I have been experiencing. So even changing sometimes the narrative of what may happen when you get older. In the midst of perimenopause and menopause, I just said that. I'm just now digesting what I just said out loud to everybody, to your audience, and that will be recorded. But anyway, just realizing I said it. But I'm glad I said it, because it's true. I want people to know there are things could look different, right? So as far as sexuality is concerned, I'll say this: when I was younger, I thought getting older meant you would have less sex, which you may. Because your body just wouldn't be interested anymore.
Maybe just be like,
and you know, listen, I'm still going through the phases, so I don't know what may happen in the next couple of years. I'm holding on to what I got right now because I appreciate it. So I always thought that it was just doomsday as you get older, and I'm learning that that's not necessarily the case. Again, it's not one size fits all.
No.
But I do know that women experience this. Now, again, I know that that's on the list. I was just making my statement that's, you were talking about experiences.
I understand.
Okay. But what I am experiencing is itchy skin. Oh my gosh. And my ears, the hearing, because your hormones, it will change the you know,
your senses.
Yes. So there will be times where I'm scratching and I have my nails the way they are, but I whelp up because I'm scratching in the middle of the night and stuff, and I stay pretty moisturized, right?
Yes.
But all of those things can happen. So you always hear about the night sweats, right? Or not even the night sweats, just the sweat in the daytime and the noontime.
When you're trying to do a show.
It just
trying to go out.
So we always hear about that, but there's so many other things. We hear about the insomnia that may happen, and just being up at whatever time of the day, the mood swings. But there's so many things on that list, on the list, and that can be added. Your appetite changes.
Yeah, it does. Metabolism.
Your bone density, and so you might start feeling certain kind of things that you didn't feel before in your knees. So. But then that also comes with aging too. Yeah. And how we are, if we're fit or not. Yeah. So again, it's like there's so many things that happen as we mature. And we're trying to figure it out. Is this the perimenopause and the menopause? Or is this the aging? Yeah. Or is it a combination of all those things? Yeah. So it's still trying to figure that out too. Men are trying to figure that out. With what they're experiencing with their bodies. So we have some added things with us, but it's a lot.
Do you find men are interested in what we go through from a menopause state, or you think they're getting more opened up to
I think so. I think particularly for those that are partnered.
Yes.
Should know what's happening. should be aware, should ask questions, should not ask questions. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, there should be a level of awareness and conversation and some check-ins on that. And maybe some growing together, and level of patience. But even for those that aren't partnered, because there are women in your life, your sisters, your aunts, your mothers, your friends, your co-workers, you still need to have a level of awareness so you can be able to extend grace. Or just stand in the gap when someone needs a moment and you don't necessarily know, but you're just holding that space for them. I think that's very important.
Very important.
So I think it's important that, and yeah, there are some men, I think just maybe about their emotional maturity, maybe of wanting to learn more. But I can't sit up here and say that, you know, men don't, you know, maybe in my circle, I'm grateful to have people that are interested in the well-being of the women in their lives.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think there's always room for more, but then it's having those conversations.
Gotta have them.
You know?
Gotta have them.
It's very important.
It's just a different time and day. And, you know, the life expectancy for women is increasing, right? Like, there's a huge probability that most people could see 100. Like, you could live.
I've been seeing more and more posts of black women, 101, 104,
104,
looking 72. Like, my godmother turned 80. Actually, her birthday's today. We celebrated her birthday yesterday. Where's 80? I don't see it.
Don't see it.
I don't see it. My mother, I don't see the age that she did. I don't see it. So, yes, but we are living longer.
We're living longer. And I think it's because the conversations are being had, the change in how we move, how we live our life.
Absolutely.
Not being siloed, not being afraid to talk about, and, you know, embracing our sexuality too. Because those conversations, I heard when I was younger that women are more vibrant in their 40s. You know, when you get older. And I would account that for knowing who you are as a woman.
There's that too.
You know, because when you're in your 20s, you're trying to figure it out. And, you know, people are in your cookie jar. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, you know, da-da-da. But when you get to a certain point in your life and you've come to know your body, right? That's important. And your mind and your spirit. Yes. What activates you, right? What makes you you. You can be more clear on how you move through your life.
I'm looking towards and forward to my 50s.
Really?
Because the women in my life, one in particular that you love very much, my sister Donna Shealy.
Yes, Donna Shealy.
Can I give a plug to the station?
Yes.
Who is a DJ on 102.9.
Yes.
Classics.
Yes.
And she's there on weekends, what is that, Saturday and Sunday. From 3 to 7.
Sounding
and
good, playing good
sometimes
music.
Throughout the week, she may fill in for Niecy Shaw.
That is correct.
And I love her, and she's all things amazing.
We love Donna.
But there is a, you know, my sister and a lot of my good friends there in their 50s are doing the thing.
Yeah, they are. She looks great.
Christy Ray Robinson. I'm saying, hold it. Yeah. Christy Robinson, Big Sweet.
Yeah.
That's another sister of mine who is coming into.
She was out last night, hitting her, doing her.
Sorry for saying all that, but listen, I have women in my life that are older, but they are, oh goodness, the way that they are coming into themselves. In a way, and loving themselves and setting boundaries for themselves, and it's just inspiring, and I cannot wait. Not that I say I can't do it now, but if that's what 50s looks like, come on, 50s.
When you get to 50, you be like, I'm gonna do what I want. Because I'm gonna give it to you real talk. When you're 50, you're a half a century old. When you look at it that way. And then when I hit 50, because I'm 56, so when I hit 50, I was like, there is no guarantee that I'm going to see another 50. So it's really like, Kimberly, somebody, the Most High took the glass, the sand, the hours, and turned it over. And you can really get a sense of, I don't want to say expiration, but your time on this earth will not be forever. Real, keeping it real. Absolutely. So it's like every day matters. Every relationship counts. Everything that you do matters, because you don't know how long you have. And I'm not trying to be morbid. I'm just keeping it 100.
Because we know so many people that have passed, especially in the last few years with everything that's been going on. And so you don't know when the last conversation,
you don't know,
to say I love you or to say the thing that you wanted to say.
Absolutely.
You just don't know.
Everything matters.
Yeah.
The relationships with your children, your mother, your career, your purpose in life.
Absolutely.
Everything matters, because it seems like when you hit 50, time goes even faster. You just said September, said, hey, well, hello, and went out.
And then went out.
The year's almost done. It's October.
We're in our last quarter.
Yeah, we're in the last quarter. And 2023 is out of here.
Yep.
And so as you get older, it seems like your days go faster and your time. So you have to make it count.
Absolutely.
And you got to keep it real, if with no one else, with yourself.
Absolutely.
You got to.
Absolutely.
And you have to invest in yourself, with your health, with your mental wellness, with whatever your self-care routine looks like, because it's different for everybody. And guess what? It changes every day.
I was going to say, it shifts for you too.
It shifts.
Your purpose, you talk about your purpose. Sometimes people may have found their purpose and are working in that. And there may be something that they realize how many years later that they didn't even think was part of their blueprint.
Right.
And to be open to that growth, to learn more. Because to me, as long as we are breathing, we have opportunities to grow. We don't know everything. Yeah. And there's room to grow. And to be open to that too.
And speaking room to grow and learn more, what's in the little box you got over there?
Well, we've been talking this whole time about saying more.
Yeah.
So I have to say this also, with the experiences I have, when you go through something, I am witness to attracting the resources and the support that you need. So when it was the birth work, the people that I needed, the midwives, the community that supported the home and natural birth for our lives, it just came to us. We kind of put it out there in the universe, is what we desire. Wow. And those people and those resources came to us. Same thing is happening in my life now. Wow. So I think it was probably last year, it had to been last year. There's a sister who's the founder of Black Girls Guide to Menopause, Omasade Bernie Scott. Again, Black Girls Guide to Menopause. That's I believe that is it, Black Girls Guide to Menopause, on Instagram. I think I've been following her for some years, but again, everything kind of came together when I really was listening differently because of my needs changing. And so she created these conversational cards called Say More. I learned this last year, right? So they're conversation cards and journaling prompts for your midlife awakening and beyond. I love the language that's used, right? So it talks about it's a curated collection of conversation card decks for people who are journeying, have journeyed, or will journey through menopause and their midlife awakening. Yes, Omasade Bernie Scott, Black Girls Guide. Oh, okay, let me refresh. Black Girls Guide to Surviving Menopause. She's the founder of that. Black Girls Guide to Surviving Menopause. So these cards, I remember I saw them. I was like, I need this. I want to have, because again, we're having more conversations, but we need to say more.
You got to say more.
And so I ordered these cards. I must have watched one of her lives during October, again, World Menopause Awareness Month. And I think I did videos. I didn't do them every day last month or last year, but I would do these cards on my live. And so I brought this today for us to pick out, and it's beautifully curated. There's artwork on here. Actually, this is one of two boxes I have. And they're broken down by the elements. There's so much care and intention put into these cards. But I wanted to randomly pick a question and then answer it if we're comfortable. Because these and I will say this. When this box came in, my first cards came in last year, my daughters were like, what's this? They were very curious about, what it was. At the time, let's see, they were preteen teens, right? We answered the questions together. So it became an intergenerational experience. So even though these are for, people in their midlife awakening, as they say, these are really cards. And we actually used these in our conference last week before last, for our lunch. I chose a few of those topics, and we had the cards on the table so people can have conversations.
Now these are color coordinated.
Yes.
Does it matter?
So I'm think the green is like there's earth, there's air. So I would just say choose a card.
Okay.
They do have different themes, but I just kind of choose a card and go with it.
I'm choosing a card. Okay. What are 3 ideas you would share with someone who's curious about how to have more fun in their sex life with or without a partner? Man, did I pick out the hot card?
I have to say this. Before we started, I said, okay, I brought these cards, and some of them are very personal. What are some things that we can talk about today and not talk about? And you chose probably one of the cards I was talking about.
And it's fire, ladies and gentlemen, fire.
And the artwork is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But that's
okay.
What are 3 ideas you would share with someone who's curious about how to have more fun in their sex life with or without a partner? That's a whole nother show by itself. I'm going to bring somebody in here and talk about that. Go on and answer these 3.
Oh, you want me to answer?
Yeah, at least give us one.
Sure, you brought the box.
Yeah.
And so also it's fire, and this is an intimacy card. Like I said, it's beautiful artwork. Sister that's in the lotus
it's
pose.
Really nice.
3 ideas I would say,
Give us one if you can.
With a partner, communication.
Okay.
Good
answer. Very PG.
Because I think that, look, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Because I was going to say something else, and I was like, ooh, that's a big pun that people would probably take another way. Communication, but also 3 ideas to share. Knowing communication with yourself too. Yeah. And not just communicating in the thoughts, but communicating in your hands to know what feels good on your body. Yeah. What pleasures you, what tickles, what you don't like. Right. So I think the communication to have with yourself is always most important. Right. So you can communicate to your partner, if you have one, what it is that you like and don't like. And then to have fun, to just be open and try things. Sometimes we know what we like, and we like to use that script a lot. Right. But then to be open to try to do other things and to incorporate other things, and for those that like role playing, for those that like accessories, accoutrement. They like to have, there are all kinds of things.
There's all kinds of things.
But I think it starts with the communication, because some of that is maybe not necessary. Right. It's like we have a lot with our bodies to engage, right? And so I think it's about the communication. I will say those things.
Okay. And I just want to say this, that this is, I don't want to say it's groundbreaking, but it is, because most mothers didn't talk to us about this, right? Yeah. So we are breaking a cycle by having these conversations with younger women. Yep. So they don't have to figure it out on their own later in life.
They'll figure it out on their in their way, but it won't be with the same maybe insecurities or embarrassment that maybe we have had. Right. They'll experience the things that they're going to experience, but I think there's some things that, like I said, giving new language, tools, resources, options, what they're can be open to. I think that's the part that we should move. We're moving into, not shouldn't, we're moving into that.
Exactly. So it's different. And that's going to help them have a more fulfilled or enriched life.
Exactly.
And just knowing how to maneuver and knowing that I'm not strange or odd by the way that I feel or what's going on in my body, and knowing how to communicate, like you said, with yourself, with your partner, about what's going on, and tools. What do I need to help me get through these seasons? Because it's seasons.
To have fun.
Yeah. To have fun. Yeah. Wasn't that a hot card?
That was. Do you ever pick one? Can I pick one?
Yeah, pick one.
Okay. All right. I'll put this one down.
Yeah. No, because I want you to pull it out again. This is the artwork she's talking about on the back of the card. It's really nice.
Let me.
Yeah.
I'll do the front.
I just pulled it out. What you got?
Ooh. Okay. So this is an earth card. Truth, because at the bottom of the cards they have the element and it has the theme. What is an unpopular or uncommon opinion you have about getting older? The invitation is to be honest and dare to be impolite. What is an unpopular or uncommon opinion you have about getting older? I don't know if it's unpopular. It might be uncommon. I talked about it earlier as far as women really coming into their sexual selves. Again, I didn't think that was something that when you got older you were able to be in. But being able to enjoy yourself and fruitfully enjoy yourself.
That whole cougar term means something, don't it? Because because there are people in life, men and women, that prefer older partners because of the fact that you're experienced.
You know what you know.
You know what you know.
Yes.
You know what you want. And you can help direct in a sense of if your partner's not providing exactly what you want, you could say a little to the left, a little to the right. No, go higher, go lower. No, you can instruct.
Absolutely.
So it could be very helpful. But it is a different thing because again, seeing some of the women that helped raise me, they're not, nobody's having these conversations. Like why, it's almost like why bother? What? Who? Nobody's, and it's just a different time. And I think because growing older or maturing or aging has a different look and feel.
It does.
Right?
It absolutely
does. And
as
Black women, we've been truly blessed and fortunate because we don't ever look our age.
Nope.
We don't never look what the birth certificate say. The people say, you're not 56. I'm like, yes, I am.
When you said that, I was like, ooh.
Yeah. I'm 5'6".
Great.
Yes. 4 years away from the big 6-0. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Now that's a whole nother different level, right?
But you're
there.
also changing directions and perceptions or definitions and perceptions of what that looks like. Your 56 is your 56, but it also gives us there maybe a little younger. Like, that's 56. Woo! There's a sister friend of mine today that turned 60, and I'm thinking, that's 60. Like, it's exciting.
It's exciting.
And I'm grateful to be a part of this, we're embracing where we are. I know we all have our feelings about aging and
we do.
I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't, because this society does not celebrate elders. It just doesn't. Even though saying the word elder, right? Aging and maturity is just not celebrated.
It's not, but we do.
So we're going to celebrate it, though. We're celebrating it.
I think we do in our community, in the Black community, in our culture. I think we honor our elders. I think that we look to them with wisdom and grace and beauty and that type of thing. And I am embracing the fact that I am becoming an elder. Numerically. Numerically speaking, because I'm moving up, so when they come to me younger, I got to be able to impart something to them because I've been here over half a century.
Listen, and I've had to learn to embrace, and those that know, I've had to learn to embrace being called auntie. I am an aunt by family, but in the community, in the streets, being called, and I honor that, because they feel that I've got something for them. Lovingly or wisdom or big sis. That's another term big too. Sis. It was like because I'm the baby. And my with my sister, so it's like I'm the little sis. No, I'm big sis. I'm big sis and I'm auntie, and I wear that proudly now. For some time, it was like we're only a few years apart. But I now see it as just a level of honor and respect. And that there's something that you feel that you can gain or learn from me.
Exactly.
And so I receive that now.
It took a minute.
But I receive it.
I'm not an auntie yet. I'm just real chicks.
I'm just real chicks.
They be like, hey, what's up, real chicks? I'm like, hey, like that's that's name. What's your real chicks? Like somebody is what's your real name? Because
sometimes they'll go by Warrior Mama. I'll respond to Warrior Mama because you don't hear that too much out there. So I'll respond to that. But I receive it all.
So menopause is here to stay. We just don't know how long it will be in one's individual space or time. But basically, you have Google's your friend. Like Google Guides is your friend. Google is information.
Absolutely.
Talk to your sister. Talk to an auntie. Talk to a big sis. Even talk to a doctor that you may trust. We didn't even really accredit the medical profession.
We didn't, but there's that too.
There are some really good doctors out here that understand
and will listen
and guide. And there are some medications that can help. And again, we would suggest that you talk to a physician if it's just unbearable. Like if you are in a space that you don't know what to do with yourself, you're not sleeping, you're not eating, the hot flashes are too much, it's too much going on, seek some help. Seek
Absolutely.
medical attention.
Absolutely.
Talk to someone, talk to people within your community, because as women, there are other women that may have gone through it.
Absolutely.
Nothing to be embarrassed about. Your health is the most important resource you have.
Absolutely. And also, having those journaling.
Yes.
I have affirmations specifically for menstrual affirmations, but also just, being grateful for the experience that I'm going through. Because a lot of times it's hard for me to say I'm grateful for this moment, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes, and I experienced this in my birth world, doing vision boards. I'm charging myself now because I was doing collaging. So this is my moment right now where I'm charging myself to do a vision board. We've done the birth vision boards. Now it's time to do a perimenopause vision board. And I believe for me, that is an actual practice I see it as a prayer.
Yeah.
I see it as, we look at these vision boards, we're putting things on the boards that we want to attract. It's, to me, part of that process of actually attracting the people, the resources, the support, the patient, whatever it is that you need. To me, that's a very powerful activity to do, to start welcoming those things in your life and attracting those things in your life. Because I know it at least I know many more times in my birth experiences. That's where I've learned the power of attraction, the law of attraction. Knew it before in different ways, but to actually lay out the steps of being, declaring what it is that you want, whether it be to yourself, writing it down, vision boards, and then, being open to receive that help and it just come to you.
I need to talk to you more about that because I'm in the process of I thought about it, I said it out loud, I need a new vision board. There are things that I want to see happen in the manifestation, and so we'll talk, we'll do a lunch or something and chat about that. I know for me personally, Kimberly, when I had my last cycle, I did get sad about it. I didn't realize it happened, right? But so,
So in the moment it happened, you didn't know it was
I didn't know.
last.
I was like, I was like, I didn't know, right? And then the next month came and I was like, I was looking for it and it just, I was looking and it didn't come. And I said, is this it? And there was, real talk, a level of sadness that came over me because I felt like this was the end of an era, of an opportunity of having children. We didn't talk about that piece.
That's a big piece.
You see what I'm saying? So that chapter had closed. And I'm grateful I have a beautiful son. He's 16 years old. But if I had a partner, if I ever thought that couldn't be. And there are some people that step to my life that are, they find me attractive, whatever, and they,
because you are.
Thank you. And they say, I want to have some more children. I said, well, I can't, sir. Unfortunately, I can't. I ain't gonna be able to do it. That's not me. And there's alternative ways of having children, all that, but biologically I can't. That door's been closed, and so I got sad.
That to me is you're opening up some other thoughts now. There is a level of probably some grief, and
there's grief, there's sadness, there's an era of you feeling I'm no longer, I'm air quoting, a woman because I don't have this very instrumental thing that helps me to produce life. I'm not a producer of life anymore. And so it was very, and I had no one to talk to
about it.
I had to just kind of deal with it and I had to self-medicate and say to myself, Michelle, that's the circle of life. Right? That you're born and then there's death and there's this
experiences along the way.
Evolution. But I had to talk to myself, and so I want to extend to women that are listening that it's okay to feel that way.
Absolutely.
It's part of the process. Just don't stay in that space and talk to someone about it.
Absolutely.
Because it's a real thing.
It's a real
and if
place.
someone never had children, was hoping, and now here comes menopause. Somebody that had children and loved the experience and wanted one more, here, it's a different, your narrative changes slightly. Not
And this
that
would
you
probably
can't have children,
this would probably be a whole other show,
Yeah.
defining womanhood, because that
Yeah,
could be
that's a whole
But
nother
there are
thing.
also women that aren't able to have
I
children.
know. We're gonna have that conversation. We're gonna have that
throughout.
conversation.
So, and then
Yeah.
questioning it. So even the definition, defining what womanhood is.
Yes.
Is a whole thing.
nother
And then
thing.
also not making and keeping out the society's what you should do and what, you should already have this and this should be
Yeah.
in place. And this,
Right.
having to cancel out that chatter.
Exactly.
And just deal with your own thoughts is
I know,
enough
I
sometimes.
know.
But then cancel out all the should've, could've.
Wouldas,
This
yeah.
is what you need to be.
Yeah,
Those
it's
expectations is very hard.
It's
so.
very hard. So again, I just want to encourage
I'm glad
women.
you brought that up.
Yeah, because that's the thing. And, we talk about it, the symptoms of it, but it means something else.
In postmenopause.
Yeah, postmenopause. We'll have to come back.
That's going to be another part 2,
because I don't know what that is.
But that's part of that
Yeah.
though. Is now that you haven't experienced a cycle for however many years,
Yeah.
what now?
What now? What's next?
And there is a next, but it's like you said, having to come to terms with some of those thoughts that you had about what it might be and what it is.
Yeah.
So that's powerful.
It's very powerful. But there now on the other side of that too, there is a sexual freedom. Right? With the right partner, if you're married or if you're a partner and there is a freedom in knowing like you say, so there's two sides to the
Absolutely.
coin. So you have to look at it and just extend yourself grace.
Yep.
To get where you need to be. But yeah, this is it's a real thing.
We need to say more.
Yeah.
Say more, and not just in the month of October, but all throughout.
The time.
Because listen, I will not stop having hot
Yeah.
flashes come November. That's not how that works.
No.
But we have certain months that are designated to be certain things.
Yeah.
So this is the month to really do the research, have the conversations, about perimenopause, about menopause, and postmenopause.
Yes. And when y'all see me do this, just know.
Yes. In a
When I'm
moment,
trying to
having a moment,
just
as mommy would call it, personal summers. Even though it
Just
may
know
be December,
it's just part of it. And
having personal summers.
I've just learned to smile with it and not be upset and just know and be, to your point, Kimberly, honored to be in this shell that I have and just allow it to flow and do what it's going to do.
Absolutely. And give yourself the tools like the fans in multiple places and the paper towels and all the things that you need, because it's coming. It may be happening throughout you never know what's going to happen. So I have to have those things in place just wherever I go.
This was wonderful. I'm so
Are we
glad
wrapping up?
Yeah.
I don't even know what time it is. What are we doing?
It's about
Okay.
Yeah, time goes by so fast.
Zoom
Wait,
out.
no, don't zoom out. Yeah, Joanna, come on back, Joe. Listen, so opportunity to shout out because I love your family. So let's talk about Lord Yada. Show the people the artwork. Bring it back in, Joe. Bring it back in. Listen. Her husband did that. Look at that.
This is the Warrior Mama.
Look at that. Would you
That's
see
many
that?
years old, which I
Look
just
at
love.
that with the belly. Yeah.
And then the Sacred Heart.
Look
on this
at that. I'm
side.
moving the mic so that people can
Thank
see.
you. But
Nice.
this is the piece here that I just
Look at that.
And it's a lot larger. I'm not going.
Yes, no, but we can see.
Yes, Lord Yada.
Yes.
And so all of the social mediums, Lord Yada, LORDYATTA on Instagram, on Facebook, LordYada.com. He's over at Tri-Cities Tattoo Company in East Point off of Whiteway.
Yeah. He's my t-shirt pusher too.
So when you go to Lord Yada's page, you'll also be connected to his, I think it's a big merch site.
his
I don't know it by
merchandise.
heart, but it'll be in his linked, the link tree of the links where you can order mugs,
stickers,
t-shirts,
everything.
bags,
hats,
all of that.
everything.
And
Nice
he'll
guy.
actually be, I don't know, well, for those that are watching right now, he'll be at it's not House in the Park, it'll be Music in the Park, which is next week. He'll be vending on October 8th.
Yes.
And
in East Point.
And that'll be actually West End.
West End,
West
okay.
End, yeah. That's going to be in West End on Peoples.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah, that's going to be on Peoples and Ralph Abernathy.
Nice.
They've got multiple stages. That's Music in the Park. And speaking of Tri-Cities Tattoo Company, I have to shout out Brother Red, the owner. This will be later on in the year, but I'm connected to it because he'll be doing his solo exhibit, the name to be determined. But on the last Saturday of this year, which is December 30th, we'll be having at Tri-Cities Tattoo Company Brother Red's solo show. So we extend that invitation to you all. Who's next on the list? My sister.
Yes.
We already talked about
Yes.
Donna Shealy,
Hi,
who's
Donna.
who's on 102.9 FM, which is Classics ATL.
Yes.
And she's on Saturdays
I
and Sundays
listened
from
to
3 to
her.
7.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
She sounds so good.
Actress, does voiceover work, does audiobooks, MCs. Yes. I was looking to see, like, does she ask Donnie yet to be on the show? Donnie ain't
But
be on the
she's
show.
working. That's the problem. So we have to figure out another
She
time.
travels and does all
Yeah,
the things.
yeah.
And then there's
There is
me,
Kimberly.
my socials.
Yeah.
So again, like I said before, Warrior Mama, and that's WARRIOR, Mama, MAMMA, like 2 M's, like Mama Mia. That's really what will connect you. I also have Absolutely Divine Events. I haven't said that one time.
Yeah.
Absolutely Divine Events is my event business.
Yes.
And that website is absolutelydivineevents.net, which will really connect you to everything. If you could follow me either at Warrior Mamas, I'm Kimberly Stewart-Lucas on Facebook, that'll really connect you to all the things that are, the birth work, which is Warrior Mamas with the S. The Reclamation Project, which we kind of talked. We talked about sexuality, but that is the celebration of Black women's sexuality, sensuality, and spirituality that is coming back next year, 2024.
I was a sponsor last year. Yay!
Oh yes, thank you so much. That is, a project that is very near and dear to my. All of them are very near and dear to my heart. But I have, awesome friends that have been pushing me to do that and to return to that. So the next one will be, the theme will be self-define, the feminine divine. So it'll be self-portraits. So that's the Reclamation Project. On also my Mental Musings. I have a page on Facebook called The Mental Musings. But hashtag my Mental Musings, because I do like videos and stuff. I'm still developing that. I'm still developing that. I thought I was going to have an event at the end of last year and I was tired. And so I gave myself said, you don't have to do it, Kimberly.
That's right.
And so I'm still working that out to where we'll have gatherings where we're doing Say More. We're talking and we're coming together, right? And having these conversations. So the Mental Musings, that's the MENO Musings, or my Mental Musings for the hashtag. I think that's it.
That's it.
Right? Yeah.
That lady is fully loaded.
Needle to the like I said, if you follow any of those things, you'll be connected to all the things I do.
I heard that slide.
I did, but and I still, that's a special one to me too.
I know.
It's in my heart, but I don't know how it's gonna come out.
Okay. Just keep your eye on this woman. Keep your eye on Auntie. Stay connected to Auntie. If you have questions or concerns, like this is a portal, this is a person that would be more than happy to answer your questions. Again, we just don't want you to feel like you're going through this part of your life or phase or journey by yourself. You have a whole community here willing to support you.
Absolutely.
This was awesome.
I appreciate you having me. I like the in studio. Like, it was nice. Again, I was just not feeling well either.
Yeah. We don't play here.
And I understand how, people would, do Zoom, but this is where it's at.
This is nice. This is nice.
This is where it's at.
This is it. This is my time. I'm going to continue to talk to Kimberly after
we were talking before.
Yeah, we're going to talk afterwards.
The intro and the outro.
Yeah, but my producer Joe is telling me, hey,
it's time to go.
You're telling you to wrap it up. This is my time. You know me, Real Chicks Rock. I'm everywhere. Listen, I've learned this from my friend Johnny Ray Gordigan last night. Yes, listen. Go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just subscribe. It's free, he says. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the little notify bell, boing, so you never miss the next show. I got that from him yesterday doing this podcast. I thought it was so cute. I'm like, I'm going to borrow that.
Come on,
subscribe to that. Follow us on we're X, formerly known as Twitter. X, go over there.
It will forever be Twitter.
Yeah, it'll forever be Twitter. I'm over there tweeting over there. I'm on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Go to our website, realchicksrock.com. Get you some merch.
Yes.
I keep saying t-shirts. Go over there and get you some merch over there. You need it. It's still nice. You'll look great in the t-shirt. And then send me the picture when you I
was thinking about wearing mine. You can also cut it up and do little do's and tie them on the side and all that. You have tank tops too?
Yeah. I'm going to bring that back.
Okay.
I'm going to bring tank tops back. We're going to do things big next year. But anyway, thank you for checking out Real Chicks Rock Presents Real Discussions. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next show.